Thank you. Martin presented or prepared the slide, so this slide. So I'm. Thank you. Well, the first one is true. Fair judging is complicated, especially the one on the human machine interface aspects. All people present in the room feared that it would be a very differentiated appearance of all the different systems, but still we have to see how this works. There was a request to share the GGU specifications with the participants. We'll take this under consideration. Collaborative sharing situation awareness, that was the mechanism of cooperation. Why should we share the people wanted to know on because I explained that we will judge them or their individual contribution to the overall situation awareness of their cooperative partners based on our GGU measurements. And so they wanted to know whether the specifications would be public. This is something we have to discuss. And on the other hand, they would like to see even if the results of the GGU would be published so that they could themselves check if the GGU was correct or that the calculation was made correctly. GPS enhancement isn't enough for existing challenge. That was a statement, and I think I fully agree. Maneuvers are more spectacular for media and public, and especially at a higher speed. That's the last one. There was even someone suggesting up to 120 kilometers an hour. But there was someone supporting that there was test drivers with very high reaction performance. So there might be a coupling in those two, and that we might be in a position to increase this 30 kilometers per hour speed limit. Fuel consumption versus acceleration. This was a very valid remark because in the simulation of the green light for platooning, it appeared that the cars all took off at a very high acceleration, and then we were reminded that the European Commission wants to have everything at least CO2 neutral and preferably with reduced CO2. So we have to make a balance there. HMI versus autonomous vehicles. HMI is difficult to judge, and the people, I hope, agreed that in the longitudinal direction we are autonomous, and only in the lateral direction we have the driver, and the driver to be informed of the instructions he needs to do for the lateral movement. But on the other hand, the driver still needs to be informed on the status of the longitudinal autonomous cooperative system for the trust in the system. And those were the bullets: user inform, notify, display, steering wheel. Yes, that's the elements. Did I forget something from the rule side? Thanks. All thanks for your valid contributions. There was one more point from the colleague from Japan, who they have a vehicle that's capable of steering, automatic steering, and there was a very high demand on including automatic steering in the challenges. But we propose to postpone this to 2012, 2013.
No, that's not what I meant. I just want to say that we can use small motor to steer instead of the human driver. And we do not do the scenario perception. We do not do the behavior generation, because that's the fourth generation autonomous vehicle should do. All we need to do here is just use a small motor to instead of replace the human driver. For example, here now we use the human driver. The system tells me now we need to merge, then turn left. Then when there's space enough, safety, then turn right to merge in the Bluetooth. But if we use a small motor, then we just when the system tell the human driver to turn left, then small driver can turn the wheel left instead of the human driver. Then we can remove the human factors, we do not concern too much about the human-machine interface. Then it's not autonomous driving. It's just use the small motor to replace the human driver. Because if it is autonomous driving, we have to do the scenario perception. We have to do the behavior generation. That's the key issue of autonomous driving. But now we do not care about that issue. That's what I want to say.
Thank you. Is there anything else you guys want to share? Just to give other people the opportunity to add something. The overall impression, Eric, because
I thought we would do the human interface judging by a couple of housewives.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I know.
Godmothers, you mean?
Grandmothers.
Grandmothers, and they probably would love your idea with here it's slowly close aside. And maybe score higher.
The housewives, I mentioned that we were trying to use a pool of test drivers from the Independent Driver Association in the Netherlands, the ANWB. We impolitely call this the housewives. It can be done. The remark on the housewives was that we needed at least 100 of them, and that if we have 25 participants, that it was not feasible to have 100 independent drivers judging 25 systems. So then we need to find another mechanism to do this. But it is something that is one of the many details in judging that we have to work out further. Just to know, what's the overall impression? Was there a lot of discussion to give the other people the impression of how it was going? Was it really people rolling over each other, or was it all calm? Or just give an impression. I think it was very vivid, and there was a lot of contribution. And in the end, it was also constructive. Everybody was. Okay, that's what I want to hear. Very good. We had a small startup problem, but I think that we gained towards consensus, and then things became constructive. And I invited all the participants to express their interest to contribute to the judging elements by sending an email to info@gcdc09. Okay, perfect. Something to finish with, or yeah?
I have a question regarding the process of the discussion about the judgment rules. Will there be some communication platform being set up? Because I think it would be very helpful to discuss this with all the involved participants.
We got already that feedback. We'll follow that up. Okay, that's it then for this session. Good. Thank you, Eric. Yeah. Now you're on. This is. I think this is one slide or two. I don't know. Then you make slides. Okay. One slide. 4, something like 4.
Wow, right? Good job. So, obviously it's 4 because in our team everything was constructive from the very beginning. No, actually it was. I want to express my thanks to the people who were present here. It went really well.
Okay.
And yeah, they helped me really. Okay, one of the the first discussion point was we presented those a number of scenarios, 4. And ask people, well, which one do you like most and why? Well, the answer is stated here. It's a blocked view. They thought it not to be very realistic, unless, I quote, we drop a cow on the road suddenly. Quote. Okay, and the other one, there was a preference for the, very well, noted here, preference for the platoon-like challenges, which are 2 and 3. Then it should be